Hello and welcome to another exam mini video. My name is Fisher Steins, and today we're going to be talking about Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium calculations in the context of plant community ecology. So to begin, I'd like to introduce you to our study species, which is going to be Salvia. And this is a real plant, but this example is fictitious. So what's important in this figure is the way that the stigma and the way that the anthers are interacting with this pollinator. So we can see that we have to have the right size pollinator in order for this whole situation to occur. And scientists have done several studies on this and have sure enough figured out that pollinator size determines fertilization success in salvia. So if we're looking at this in a climate change context, we'll see that the large bee populations are found on the upslope and the small bee populations are found on the low slope. Now, because our temperatures are continuing to rise, these small bee populations are climbing up the slope and they'll come into contact with the salvia species. Now, because the large populations are no longer there, we have this problem occurring and adaptation must occur. So our hypothesis is that directional selection for small zygomorphic corollas and small obligate pollinators will occur. So to begin, we'll do a Hardy-Weinberg calculation pre-selection, and I'll bring your attention to the genotypes and phenotypes here. So we're looking at small corollas, medium corollas, and large corollas. And we'll see that it's an inverted relationship where we have many large corollas and very few small corollas. Now, the reason for this is because in a very cold season, we would see the large corolla being favored because we have those large pollinators. Now, to double check that we're in equilibrium, we can also look at our allele frequencies here. So big A is synonymous to P in the equilibrium calculation. And if we do P squared, we'll see that this value is 0.016, and it's the same as our frequency. And that's true of all of these values. So that tells us that we're in equilibrium. So now if we look at post-selection, we're going to look at a new element called fitness. Basically, this means that in this new world, this warmer world, small corollas are favored because we have those smaller pollinators, right? So increased fitness for that size class. And we do this across the board, and we calculate our unadjusted survivor ratio, because not all are going to survive in this new world. And we then see that the frequency after selection is really going to change dramatically from how it was before. So we see we used to have 0.76 of the population being in this little a, and now it's only about 50%. We're also going to calculate our allele frequencies down here, and that's important for comparison in just a moment. And now we have to ask ourselves the question, what will the future of this flower look like? And the answer is directional selection for small corollas because of these smaller pollinators. And we can see that here. So in the pre-selection, our big A allele was at 0.128. And then if we go down here and look at the post-selection, we're seeing that that's almost double the value. And that means that we're moving in the positive trend towards the big A, towards those small corolla sizes. And that is consistent with our hypothesis. So here are the sources. Thank you very much.